Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview, and as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is a 6'2" outside linebacker that has been historic at the FCS level with the Central Arkansas Bears over the past 3 years. I'm talking about David Walker. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Hey, beyond blessed to have you on. You're going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, at the college level, what you've done, absolutely incredible. All the accolades you have, the numbers that you've put up. I mean, Central Arkansas definitely was blessed to have you the past 3 years. And I want to talk about some of the best accomplishments that you've had over the past couple of years in a segment that I like to call Rewind and Recap. In this segment, I just rewind the clock, tell the audience just how awesome you are. And I'm going to start off by letting them know that you set the career records at Central Arkansas in just 3 years in total sacks with 31 and tackles for loss with 63. To go with that, all 3 years, you were the conference defensive player of the year. All 3 years, you were an FCS All American across the board. Every single list, you were on that list. And then this year, as well as 2022 and maybe even 2023, I didn't see it, but finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award. That goes to the FCS Defensive Player of the Year. And with the numbers that you put up, no doubt in my mind, you're deserving of that, man. So a lot of information right there that I just gave. So we got a lot of questions to get into, and I'm going to go on ahead and just get into the obvious one. How are you so good at what you do? What has gone into this production that you've had over the past 3 years?
Man, I'll just say consistency. Man, my coach, Coach Davis, he believed in me. He believed in what I was able to do before I was able to even do it. So he just put me in the best position. Coach Dax, our new defense coordinator that came my second year here, he asked me, "Do you want to make some money one day?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, I'm moving you to outside linebacker." And I was like, "Let's go." And ever since then, man, I just bought in. I just bought into what they wanted me to do, and I was able to just do what I was able to do.
Hey, there you go, man. I mean, the production that you've been able to do has been nothing short of amazing, and you helped your team to a great start this past year. Ended up going 4-1 in your first 5 games. That one loss, of course, came against an FBS team in Arkansas State, where you guys almost got that upset win, 34-31 final score against Arkansas State with the Red Wolves coming out on top. But tremendous start to the season. Unfortunately, 4 straight games where you guys ended up falling short towards the end of the season. It was kind of a tale of two halves of the season for the Bears. As one of those veteran guys, one of the leaders on the field, how would you describe the season for Central Arkansas this past year?
Hopefully, it was a learning experience for the guys that have more years to come. But for me, man, I just wanted to take it in, because it was my last time playing with the guys, and I enjoyed the moment that I was able to spend with those guys because we started it. We started there, and the guys that stayed there, we finished there. So I'll say it was a learning experience.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely did your part. 3 games, first 3 games of the season, you had 5.5 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss. On the year as a whole, 68 total tackles, 23 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, just putting up numbers after numbers every single game. But those first 3 games, right out the gates, you were able to just come out guns blazing. I know you just said that you wanted to take it all in your final season. Obviously, everyone, when they're going into their final season, they want to make that impact right away. How are you able to do that so quickly?
Man, I'll say just the preparation. This summer, I spent one-on-one time with our defensive coach, my defensive coach, and we just worked on the basics, worked on the stuff that I need to improve, the stuff that I will continue to use to improve. And I feel like I maximized that in the summer while everybody else was probably doing whatever they wanted to do. I spent time um, perfecting my craft, and it showed early.
Hey, there you go, man. That's why you were able to make some big time plays this past season. I actually went through a lot of the film that I could find on YouTube, Twitter, whatever I could when I looked up the name David Walker or watched Central Arkansas film. And I tell you what, man, it was hard to come up with just three for this segment that I like to call Make That Play, which is pretty self-explanatory, nice little highlight reel. But I managed to come to my top 3 plays on this list. But before I get into those, I do want to ask you, what was your top play from this past season?
Oh man, I had to step outside. My top play for the season was definitely Arkansas State. when we needed a big play. The coaches called upon the defense, and we got the strip sack fumble to put our team in a position to take the lead, and we did.
hmm Yeah, I had that. I had that one actually tied at number three. I ended up going with the other sack. Like I said, man, you had so many plays. It was just hard for me to come up with them, but that one definitely was one of my favorites as well. But I'll go on ahead and get into my top three. The first one of which also came against Arkansas State. In that game, you had 2.5 sacks, and one of them, you just showed that elusiveness where you just hit the swim move right past the offensive lineman, use your size. You showed your IQ. Use your size. Put your arms up in the air to block the QB's vision, and then all of a sudden you saw the QB's eyes, terror in their eyes, because you just smothered them to the ground. Got that big time sack against an FBS team. Number two. Against Lindenwood, big time sack where you stormed right past offensive linemen. They couldn't stop you at all. Quarterback tried to scramble, hit you with a spin move, whatever he could. You stayed right with him and ended up bring him down for a tackle for a sack of 14-yard loss. And then against Utah Tech, number three that I have on this list, another 14-yard loss for Utah Tech, where you once again showed that elusiveness, hit the spin move off the block. QB once again tried to scramble, and you showed your athleticism, dove right at him, got all of his legs, and just brought him down with you. So, absolutely incredible you were able to do throughout this season, man. So, congratulations on that. Uh, Guys with your talent, especially with the numbers that you put up over the past couple of years combined, normally would have entered the transfer portal and gone to the FBS level. You yourself probably could have ended up going Power Five high major. I'm sure you had a lot of people in your ear telling you that. But you decided to stay loyal, remain with Central Arkansas to kind of finish the job that you had started. Talk to me real quick about you as that player, that high caliber guy going through that process to what went through your mind to remain a Bear.
Yeah, man, loyalty. Those guys they trusted me coming from a D2 school, not knowing what to expect. And that was the first guys to recruit me. And it's about legacy for me. I was 10 away at the starting of the season. I was 10 away from tackle for loss, 10 away from sacks, and they just told me, man, would you rather go somewhere and get 8 or 9 sacks? Yeah, that's cool. Maybe raise your draft stock a little bit, but here, man, you get those 10 and 10 sacks, and you're implemented here forever. You know what I mean? It's a legacy. You'll always be remembered here at UCA. So like, I took that to heart. You know what I mean? Football is gonna be over one day, but what I did here will remain for a long time.
Oh
And
yeah.
then my brother came here to play too, so that added another plus.
Oh, it's always nice when family gets to join you, man. So that's definitely cool for you. And you're a Hall of Famer with Central Arkansas. There's no doubt. I mean, like I said before, your career records there. You're number one in all-time sacks with 31, number one in tackles for loss with 63. Those are numbers that you see in Madden or the new college football game, which I'm kind of bummed that they didn't have FCS teams like Central Arkansas. I totally would have played as you and gotten some sacks. Uh, but a lot of awards to your name, like I mentioned before, three-time All-American, three-time Defensive Player of the Year. You're finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award once again. What does it mean to you to have all of these accolades to your name to help raise that draft stock that you were talking about?
Man, it means a lot. Man. It means that I'm able to produce. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing. And I feel like what helped me along this way is my faith. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ, and I feel like that that helps me play free. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta think too much about things, or I ain't gotta worry about too much about things that I cannot control, because I know that He's going to control them. You know what I mean? And if this is the path that He wants me to go to pursue the NFL, I'm going to pursue it with all my heart. You know what I mean? Because that's what He tells us to do. So I feel like it plays a big part. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and you're right around the corner from the NFL Combine that you just got invited to. And a lot of people they hear the Combine, they think about, these guys from Georgia, Alabama, the Power Five schools going there. And FCS players, it's a lot harder because you guys are unfortunately considered underdogs. A lot of people they don't think about the FCS schools because they don't look at the numbers, they don't look at the high level competition that you guys have and you guys do go against. You were one of the names from the FCS level to earn an invite to the NFL Combine. Talk to me real quick about what when you received that invite. What went through your mind? How did that all go about?
Man, it was crazy. Something just told me to just check my email, and it was kind of crazy. I really don't check. my email that much right now because I'm not busy right now. But I checked my email and it said NFL Combine. I was like, this is crazy. And I clicked on it and it said you have been congratulations, you have been invited. And like, man, I just started praying, you know what I mean? Because like this is something as a kid, like you dream about. You dream about being able to compete against the best, being able to just be up there with the best in the world. And like this dream is coming true. So I couldn't do nothing but give thanks to God, you know what I mean? Because he's brought me this far.
Yeah,
It was
and
just a real moment for sure.
that's awesome, man. Congratulations to you on that. And you're going to be trying to make a name for yourself at the combine and show scouts why you deserve to be drafted in this upcoming NFL draft. A lot of great pass rushers are in that combine along with you. I know Mike Green out of Marshall, who led the country in sacks this past season, is going to be there. There's some very talented defensive ends from Virginia Tech, Boston College that are going to be there. You yourself, although you're an outside linebacker. You got a little bit of edge. I saw you dropping coverage in a couple of games, doing your thing there. With your size, by the way, you move very well to be able to cover some of those wide receivers. So I want scouts to pay attention to that. But what are some of the things that you're looking to show in the combine to separate yourself from some of these other guys for scouts to call out your name?
Yeah, just my twitch. You know what I mean? I'm a big, a little heavier guy than most of those guys, and just show them I want to be there. You know what I mean? That I enjoy this, and that I work so hard, just like these other great pass rushers, great guys that's going to be there. I just want to show that I belong too.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to belong there. You do belong there for sure. You're going to hear your name called because you're one of those great players that deserves to have that kind of recognition, that deserves to get that opportunity. And I love having great players like yourself on. I got to have one of your teammates who's a phenomenal player, also an All-American, Shanderick Powell on a while back. And he actually gave your name in this segment that I'm about to get to, which shows that this segment works. I like to call it Who's Up Next. In this segment, you give me as many names as you recommend for me to reach out to and have on the podcast this season and in future seasons. And there's two rules. First of which, Derek obviously did this with you, help me out, get you on to the podcast. So you got to help me get anybody on the podcast that you recommend. And number two, you got to give me at least one name where they were not with Central Arkansas this past season.
Okay, cool. I'll say you can go Tamarius Wilson, Demetrius Charles. Those are two guys that play here with me at UCA, and I'll say another guy is Dawson Scott.
Olson Scott. Okay, so all three of those are at UCA or
No, no, one of them is the D2 level. But he's declaring for the draft.
Dawson Scott is?
Yeah,
All right, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up those names. I saw that confidence in your eye. Like, yeah, these guys are dogs. All right, so definitely gonna have to check them out. So I do like that, and that right there, that's who's up next. So definitely excited to reach out to those guys. And now that we talked about who's up next, gotta talk about what's next. Obviously, we just talked about the fact that you're getting ready for the combine. What's the process that you're in right now, heading into that combine? How are you getting ready to show off your skills with all of those scouts?
yeah. So I've been training in down at XOs at Arizona. Um, but I'm back at home right now just for break. But I leave Saturday to actually go to the FCS ceremony for the Buck Buchanan Award, and then that Saturday night I head back to Arizona and I start the training. You know, what I mean, I start training for the Senior Bowl actually, and then we'll train more for the combine. But man, it's been a process. It's been fun to be around all the top guys and the guys that's going first round just to see how they interact. You know what I mean? They ain't treat me no less than what I am. You know what I'm saying? So that's just pretty cool to see.
Hey, that's awesome, man. And no doubt in my mind, you deserve that Buck Buchanan award with the numbers that you put up. Obviously, the other guys that are finalists, congratulations to them. But hopefully we hear David Walker's name called as the winner of that award this year. So keep doing your thing, man. Congratulations on a great career, like I said. And when you make it to the NFL, not if, but when, we're gonna see a David Walker jersey in my collection. I'm gonna send
Yeah,
it to you
yeah,
autograph too.
yeah, for sure.
Hey, man, thank you so much, and God bless you, man. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, thank you.